Hi everyone, it's Nat here. Hope you're all doing well. It is day 6 of the hashtag 2023 DD Advent, so the December daily collaboration, which is hosted by the lovely Tracie Fox. And there is an awesome crafter doing a little project using Tracie's December daily kit that she's put out. It's in her Etsy, Love Junk Journals, if you want to go and grab it. Craft along with us. And there's a link down below to the Advent calendar on Tracie's website where you can click on the days to head straight over to the YouTube of the creator, which will be doing a video for the day. So yes, my day, which is really exciting. So I thought I'd show you firstly what I'm going to be using in case you want to craft along. So I have here some manila folder. It's one that I was going to use for a cover and didn't end up using, so I want to use that. I have this page from the December daily kit, and I specifically want to use this book cover, and I'll probably use some of the other pieces as well. I also love the pictures on here, so I might like to use a few of those. And I've grabbed the 2 sheets that are like these journal cards. They'd be good as greeting card backgrounds and that sort of thing as well, but I think I want to use those. And I'd completely forgotten that there are envelopes in this kit, and I think they might work out nicely for what I have planned as well. So I've grabbed the 3 envelopes, but I think I'll probably just use 2 of them. We will see. Still planning it as I go. And I also grabbed Tracie's rustic background kit that I'm pretty sure this is in her members area on her website if you want to check that out. So I've grabbed the blue pages for backing my book covers. So what I'll do is some fussy cutting of the elements that I know I want to use, and then I'll be back to get started with you. So these are the 2 envelopes that I think I will be using. So first thing is to fold these ready to go. Now I know that lovely Tracie on day 1 who started off this December daily collaboration showed you how you fold up your envelopes. But I will do one with you. You've got the score lines on there, which makes it really easy. So I'm not going to use my scoreboard for this. I will do it with my ruler and my bone folder, just because I'm finding this a bit easier when it comes to using paper. I'm always folding envelopes wrong. Not getting it on the line and finding it difficult, so I do find this a little bit easier. So I'm not going to glue it together yet. There may be a few other things I want to do to it first. So I will get the other one all folded. So now I just want to do some trimming of my folded envelopes. So they are slightly different design. You can see that this blue one is flat along here, and this has the pointed edge, which is all right. But with what I want to do with them, I think it would be best if I trim that down to be like this one. So I think the easiest way for me to do that really is just to layer this one on top of that one and draw a little line and just cut it off so it's about the same. Like that. Now, it doesn't have the edging that this one has, so I think I'll grab a darker ink, my ground espresso here, and I'll just use that to give it a bit of an edge. And it will match the rest of it a bit better. Like that. And the other thing I want to do is cut this whole flap off. So I will do that. it will be like that. So now I'm just going to go and ink the outside edges. I won't need to do the flap because we'll be sticking that on the inside of our other envelope, but I will do all the other outside edges. Now before I put my envelopes together, I just want to do a little bit of stenciling on the inside of my blue one. So I will stencil just in this area and the top flap because they're the inside pieces that we're going to see and they are quite white. You could always print some background papers onto your envelopes if you wanted, or do whatever you like with them. You might like the white, but I thought it might look a bit better with some stencils. So I made this stencil. It's just black cardstock and I used the snowflake punch to punch out some shapes. And I'm going to use my distress ink. It's Stormy Sky. I thought that might go good with the colour of the envelopes. And I'm just going to stencil some of those on. Hopefully we're getting in the little grooves. Yep, that's coming out nicely. Okay, that might do. So that will be like that, and when we close this up, perfect. And it'll be the same when we close that up. So just not quite so blank. You could ink it a bit more around the background if the white bothers you, but I think I'll leave it like that. Okay, so now it's time to stick our envelopes together. So I think the easiest way to do this would be for me to turn my envelopes that way. Get some of my glue. And we want to stick this piece onto that piece. So it's easier to see the crease where we want to put it if we have it this way when we glue it together. So that's what we're going to do. My glue's getting a bit empty. It takes a while to get down so I can use it. You want to be able to fold your other envelope over nicely. Make sure it's all adhered and we don't have big blobs of glue sticking out anywhere. It's not too bad. And it still folds nicely there. So now I can stick actual envelopes together, which I'll use my fine tip glue for. Turn it around and do the same on the other envelope. That's our envelopes done for the project. Now we've got to work on our cover piece. Okay, so these are our cover pieces. So what I want to do with them is I will cut them down. Then we grab our manila folder. So this piece should be fine, as in height-wise for our cover. So what I might do is just cut it down where this crease is. Make it a little bit smaller to work with. Cut it down a bit this way. I'll cut it down further once we've got our cover on there. We can trim around it. Now, the thing is that our envelopes are a bit wider than our cover piece, so we need to make our cover piece wide enough to cover our envelopes. So we might put our envelopes up here. And we do about 13/16. Then we'll trim it at that line. So it's straight. Just double checking my measurements. I don't trust myself. It's like they say, check twice, cut once. Then you just got to cut straight. All right. So that way we've got the spine for our little booklet already intact. Now, if you don't have a manila folder, you can use any cardstock or packaging or whatever. Will work fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do is stick my front cover on, and I'm going to stick it flush with the front edge of my little folder piece here. Now, you will see that I haven't corner rounded it yet. I'm not going to corner round the back part. I will be covering over that. And I'll corner round these front edges once we've finished sticking it together. I'm hoping my corner rounder will do that for me. So what I want to do is stick that on first, and then we can cut it a bit shorter. Just winging it as we go, guys. I have a very loose plan. Even if you have a plan, it never goes to plan when you're actually doing it in front of people on the camera. So I did swap my glue over to a fuller bottle. Okay, so now I've got the top bit on, I can see how tall I want it. So we can cut that down. If I can find where I've hidden my knife. Doesn't take long for the desk to get all piled up. Now, we could try and stick our back cover on now and hope that it's all pretty straight, which would mean we want to stick it to that edge like that with the spine here. Not sure how easy this would be to work with. Kind of like it though. And it's a good size to wrap around. It's a little awkward to fold, try sewing on. Let me just cut a piece off. Might be a bit more manageable then. We'll see what we think. All right, so let's put this on. Then we need to cut this down. Snip extra off with my fine tip scissors. We could cut this down about there. Hopefully that's a bit better. All right, so now we should be able to hopefully corner around. Now, I know it fits all right, but whether it will quite get there, I'm not sure. So we might have to do a bit of inking after this as well. And we better just do it one layer at a time. Yeah, close. It's just if I try and cut it, it won't be very smooth. I might have to cut it. See what the ink does. That hides it pretty good. Thank goodness for ink. Now I am thinking about sewing down there and there just to make sure that the hessian stays on nicely. I'm sure it will, but I do think that some red thread would look nice on that. So I have done my sewing. So what I did was just a zigzag stitch down there and down there, which you can see there, and I've tied it off. I didn't end up going around the top and bottom because I thought maybe I'd want to sew around the whole cover once I have covered the inside. It doesn't need it because I think it looks beautiful the way it is. However, the glue doesn't always get to the edges, and sewing is a nice way to ensure that it doesn't sort of lift around the edges. So I'll see about that afterwards. So now I want to cover the inside, and I chose one of these pages from the freebie to do that with. Love the colour of this one. So what I am thinking of doing is, what am I thinking of doing? I'm thinking I might just cut this page about there across. That should do us. Now, I don't want to necessarily stick it straight down. If I keep it as a whole piece and put it in there, when I go and fold it, I often find it a problem with the crease, and it just adds bulk when you're trying to shut things as well. So I'm going to chop it into two pieces, but we do want it to be straight. So I'll grab my ruler and I'll use the lines on my cutting board. That should be plenty. And I'll use that middle line as a guide. And I'll chop that in half. So we're going to stick one like that, and then stick the other one on like that, and then I will chop around them. I think that'll be the easiest way to do it. So I'll repeat that process with the other side. And now I just have to trim around the outside. So that's the inside covered. So now we can ink around the edges of that, get rid of any whiteness. Much better. So I'll go and probably just zigzag stitch again around. I'll open it up and do all the way around the cover. So I've sewn all the way around the outside of my cover now. It's looking pretty good. Now I want to work on a label to put on the front. So I have the labels that came on the page that this cover was on. And I have this, it's a make your own business stamper thing. I've collected a number of the sets of these, or bits and pieces of them from the secondhand shops. So I like to use them. They're very fiddly and frustrating, I find. But there's different sized letters and numbers. I think I've got 3 or 4 different sized letters and numbers in them, so it's really great if you want a specific sized letter. If you don't have something like this, of course you could just print out a word or write out a word on your label. So that's no worries at all. I thought I'd just use this because I have so many, so why not use them? So I've put the words Christmas lists in there, as you can see, very fiddly. Now this has run out of ink, so I was going to take the letters out and put it in another one in the hope that it had some ink. And then I thought, no, the ink that comes in these things sometimes takes forever to dry. So I thought I'd just use my distress ink. I probably prefer to use my archival, but it's very hard to not get ink on the outside bits where you don't want it. So better off to have a little ink pad, I think. So I will ink this up and I will attempt to stamp it. Now I've done 2 labels, so then I can do it twice and pick the one that comes out the best, because it's hard for me to get it centered right and not smudged and all that. So good luck. Let's see how we go. So I'll give it a good inking. Try not to get any on those outside bits too much. And I'll click it up and we'll get it where we want it. Just going to try and line it up. So it's going to be on my label. Press it down. Oh, that's not too bad. I'm quite happy with that. I did one before. So that's the one I did before, and as you can see, I really smudged it. So then I had to go and print another few pages. So that's definitely an improvement. So I can chop that out now. So I've just backed it onto black cardstock to make it a little more sturdy and give it some height. I've also cut out a few other little pieces for my cover. Cut out 2 of the trees and 1 of the carolers. So, and I've backed the caroler and 1 of the trees onto the black cardstock, and then Foxy cut it as well. Just again to give it a little more height. I didn't bother backing this one though. I think I just went and smudged that then. I might do one more since I did that, just see how it comes up. Oh yeah, that'll do too. Okay, now I'll try not to smudge that one while I cut it out. Then I'll let it dry for a bit. So yes, I'll just ink around the edges. Now we can start assembling our cover. Figure out which side we want our tree on. Now I think we're pretty safe to put a little label down the bottom. Maybe we'll still do it like that. So I think first we'll put our brown tree down. Now I've got a bit of extra embellishment that I'd like to do. So I have this bag of stars. I thought we'd do it. There was a star on the tree, but I cut it off because I thought it'd be great to use some of the bits that I have around here and do an extra big star up there. Lucky it just still fits on. Yeah, I like that. Don't know if there's any point in trying to ink this, but I'll try. Not sure if there's stickers. No. Find out the hard way. Just stick that back together. It was coming off like a sticker, so I thought it might be. Now I need my tweezers, which have gone missing. Tell you, I'm always surprised about how much of a mess your desk becomes when you start these little projects. So there's our star on top of our tree. And then I thought I'll try and get rid of some more of the stuff that I have hanging around here. And I found some sticky dot things, some bling. A lot of this stuff, it just gets put away and never used. So I've got some green ones here. I didn't have any red ones, but I do have some red diamond dots. I don't know if they're going to go together or not, but let's see what we can do. I think these red ones are going to look cool. I didn't have any green diamond dots, and I didn't have any red sticky bling, so... Now, pokey tool for this, I think. Let's grab a couple of these green ones. That one went missing. Although this will make it a bit harder to slip this in a belly band or a pocket or whatever, but it is Christmas, so I need some bling. So I'm going to do that with those ones, and then see if I can use my picker-upper tool, which is very annoying. And now for these, I'm probably better off using this glue, but they're so tiny it's going to be difficult. I just want the tiniest bit of this on. See what we can manage. Even if I grab a cotton tip, I think. So this will be fiddly. but I know this glue will hold them on nicely. Easier to control how much glue I'm putting on there. Oh, it's sparkly. These green ones are a bit bigger, but could have just done the red ones actually, would look kind of cool. But anyway, we're doing that, so let's just do it. But whatever you have, basically. I like using up what I have grabbed from the second-hand shops for this sort of thing. So I'm going to continue on sticking these dots on and then I'll be back. So I've finished applying the baubles to my Christmas tree. They actually turned out looking all right. I'm quite happy with that. Oh, this is fun. So next thing I have is some of these stars. Now, if you like me, I have stacks of this sort of thing as well that I've picked up secondhand and I never use. About the only time you would use them is Christmas, so I might as well get using some of them. So let's put a few of those around the place. Now I'm going to use the same method to apply them, which is fiddly, but it works. I'll keep using my Helmer. I'm using the fabric glue at the moment, but the 450 works good as well. And I know that's going to hold these on. So I will tweezer them. Let this start bubbling out the top a bit. Get that ready first, might be a good idea. Wish I could find my craft tweezers. I know they're here somewhere. So I've got a bubble of glue out the top, so I'm going to shut it off now before it explodes on me. Grab my sequin again. And I'm just going to get some glue on my Q-tip. I think that's what you call them somewhere. Not here, but yeah, I'm getting used to hearing it now. Just put a bit on. And stick my... Oh, that's right, that reacts, doesn't it? Oh no, it's just condensation, hopefully. Stick my little star on. Beautiful. And I'll grab a couple of the teeny tiny ones. And repeat the process. So I'll continue doing a couple more, maybe another one down here and a few up the top. Okay, the next step is to sew our little envelope folder thing into our cover. So I've just grabbed the cotton that I used to sew around my cover. I've got the bobbin here. I've grabbed some of the cotton off of that and I've just doubled it over to make it extra strong. Now I want to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, but I'm going to start up the top. I think that'll work. Yeah, hopefully. I usually always do it in the middle. Now I want to try and get the corners of my envelopes so they're not going to show. So I'll just get it positioned. That's pretty good where I want it. Might just put one clip on just to help me keep it in place. Make sure it's down in the center, and I'll just clip that like that. So we're going to go through the top. Now I'm not going to bother measuring, so I'll just go about 1.5 centimeters through. Now what I want to do is come the other way, but I'm going to punch my hole first. Although I won't be able to see it because of the hessian. There it is. Leave a nice long tail. And then I will go through the middle That middle is about, that will do. Now I've almost pulled them through, not quite. It's better. And then back through the bottom. So again, I'm going to punch my hole from this side. Keep an eye where it's coming out. Is that it? Yeah. Then back through the middle. And then we can remove our needle and we can tie it up here. I want to tie it up the top here. Hope I'm somewhat in camera. I hope I've been in camera. Or else I'll have to do it again for you. Because I'm half blind and I have to have it right up against my nose to be able to see what I'm doing. Let's take this off and have a look. So that is a little folder put into the middle there. Now, the reason why I tied it off up the top is because I did think we could add just a couple of beads up here would look neat. Now, I'm not used to doing this, so we'll see how we go. So what I did was find some of my beads. I've got some lovely red and green ones there. And I've got my 4 threads that are at the back here because we doubled it over the cotton. We've got 4 threads hanging. I've cut them all to the same length, and I have had to wet the end to get it to go together so I can thread the beads. It's not quite long enough really to put through a needle, and I'd need a bigger head on the needle, so I'm just trying to get the thread together and pick up the beads and put them on. And it's working. It's very fiddly. So I will do one with you and then I'll go off camera and finish it because it takes me forever just to get one bead on. I'm just going to run a few and alternate the colours a bit down, and then I've got to try and tie a knot in the end. That'll be the fun part. So I think that's how I'm going to do it. Yeah, so let's get a bead on anyway. So just try and get those ends together, and we're going to try for a red bead. So I'm using my tweezers to pick it up. And you can see there's always that one end of the cotton that doesn't want to go in, which is frustrating. So just try and make sure it's together as good as possible. That's better. And then thread the bead down. So as I said, I will go and finish threading this. So there is my dangle. Try and get it where you can see it. That took way much longer than I thought it would. So, yeah, my fingers aren't so good at all those fine details. I haven't done much of that sort of thing, if ever. So it looks pretty though. I really love the way the covers turned out. So that's a good start. So we've got our envelopes sewn in now. It's looking good. Now the next thing I want to do is we cut this piece off of one of the envelopes. And I thought, well, rather than waste that, it would actually make quite a good corner tuck. If I had thought of it before, we could have sewn it in. But that doesn't matter. If we stick it like that, we can still see the pretty stitches anyway. So that's what I'm thinking of doing. Now, we can also give ourselves a bit more room to fit a tag in there by scoring and folding the edges over. So I think we will give that a go. So I think I'll go about 1/4 of an inch. And then we'll cut this little corner out, and we'll do it on a bit of an angle. So if we sort of go across there, we should be right. Now we'll fold these edges over. So we're just going to have to cut a bit off of here, so we'll do that. Could do it straight, would help. And I'll just angle this little piece so it doesn't show. And then the top, it's just a bit odd with the angle we've got there at the moment, so I'm just going to chop that off as well. So that makes a cute little pocket that we can put there. So now we just need to ink around the edges a bit. So now we can just run glue along these folded pieces to stick our pocket down, and it's just giving us a little bit more room if we want to put an embellished tag in there. Okay, so I've done a bit of searching and fussy cutting and inking to decorate the inside of this now. So I did fussy cut the bird. I was going to put him there, but I think he looks better there. I've cut out some of the words. So I've got "'Tis the Season," which I think will be lovely, and I've got our blue bird, our blue robin picture there. I think that's all I wanted for this front one for now. Could do with something down there maybe. I won't make a tag to put in there. I can just, as the December daily goes on, I'm sure I will have tags. Chop one out of the kit that I can fit in there. I did want to make this project something that you could get done in a day, and I just got glue on there, didn't I? I'm not going to try and rub that off, because if I do, the print can come off. So we will live with that. It happens. And then we'll stick our bird about there. Beautiful birds. I still do want to put something there, but okay, this time I think I am ready. There's always something else, isn't there? So we've got our bird. I might stick him down. And then I found these beautiful flowers. I thought they might look nice with him. Okay, so I think that's those pages done, so we can fit a nice tag in there when we want to. So we'll turn the page. Now, I don't want to do much here, but there are these labels which I really like, and I thought maybe we could put them, I think, down there in case you want to label what's in each pocket. So you might have lists on this side and then notes or budget or something on this side. Or ephemera, whatever you'd like to store in there. They'd be great for storing all sorts. So I think we'll put those down there. They'd look nice layered. No, Nat, don't go there. Or we'll never get it finished. Since we've got the caroler on the front, let's have a look. There's one that's Christmas wish. That'd be a good one to put on there. Could even cut them down and put them on our little, we might even do that. Oh, Christmas tree, deck the halls, silver bells, jingle bells. All is calm, it's cold outside. Might do deck the halls. But of course, if you'd rather just leave the labels to write your own little thing on, you can do that as well. So just cut them down, see how it fits. Fits all right in there. I think that looks pretty cute. Got these back couple of pages to do. So with these pages I've cut out these stars. Now this one I have backed onto just some blank book page to make it a bit thicker, and this one I just left. So I want to stick this one down up here, but I want to possibly leave it as a tuck spot. So maybe if I glue just this bit here, we can tuck something under there. Or just glue these. That might even work better. Although that should be right. Let's just do it. Then I have this scene, and I think we'll make a pocket out of that. Not for the love of me find the little scoreboard that I was using before. Don't ask me how I managed to lose it. So I've grabbed out my big one, and I want to score, like a rough cut this out. I was going to back it and then chop it out, but I think I'll actually use these white edges to make some more room in the pocket like we did before, and I might fold the top over just to reinforce the top of our little pocket. So I want to basically score down the edge of our picture. Now I will cut across my corners, and then we can fold. Now with the top of our picture, we want to stick that down. Now I'll just nick this out a little bit. And then we shall ink around the edges. So now we can stick that down. So again, we're just going to stick it on these 3 edges. Let's try this first. That looks pretty cool there. Yep, kind of like him under there. So he can sit there. Now, I haven't inked around these, have I? I better do that. We also have a word. Which I'm going to put up there. And then this, oh my goodness, it fits. Don't have to chop him down. So I better ink him up as well. Didn't ink him because I thought I'd have to cut the border off for him to fit, but he fits perfect in there. So I've got a couple of journaling cards in there that we can write on if we want to. I could just keep going forever. So now we have to do our little list cards. So what I did was cut out all of these bits, these little background pieces, and I thought these would be awesome for little Christmas lists. So what have we got? 8 of them there. And I thought we can put the blue ones in the blue pocket and these red and green ones in this pocket. Okay, so I'm ready to stamp my first one. Now, this is why you should always check first when you're using this type of stamp set. Had the V upside down. So I have fixed that and tested it. So now make sure we've got it up the right way. Ink it up. I'm using my archival ink for this. I was going to do it in like green and red and that, but then I've got to find the right colours and all that. So I thought I'm just going to go black and get this done, or else we will be here forever. So now I should try and line it up. There we go. That is good enough. So there's one list. So now, since I've got cards in there already, I will go ahead and I've done cards received. So I want to do cards sent or given. Sent I might do. Or should I do given? I'll do cards given. Yeah, given sounds better. So I'm going to continue on, do a couple of these with the list names that I have thought of, and then I'll be back and we'll put it together. So I've finished doing all my stamping of my lists and we're ready to put them in. So I have wish list, which is for all the things you wish for that you don't end up getting. So now these could do with an inking as well, but I'm not going there because I'm desperate for a cuppa. And then I've got decorations, guests, menu. So they will all slip in over this side. And then we've got cards received, cards given, gifts received, and gifts given. So that you can write lists of the presents you get and the presents you've given, so you can remember them for future years. I think this is a really cool thing to have in a December daily. You could remove these individually and stick them on other pages in your December daily when you're using them, and then use these pockets to put ephemera in or things that you receive, little cards, anything you like really. So it does have multiple purposes and I really love it. So, and that was so much fun. Massive thank you to Tracie for inviting me to take part in this collaboration. Do make sure you check out all the other collaborators as well. There is an advent calendar on Tracie's website, which I've linked down below. You can click on the days to go directly to the person's YouTube who is putting out a video for the day. If you don't see the video there, sometimes it can be because we all live in different countries and the difference in time zones and that. So just keep checking back until it pops up. Now I will be on again. I think I've got the 21st as my next day, so I'll be doing another make with you guys. So I'm really looking forward to that. I hope whatever you do, whether you do celebrate or not, that you have a really wonderful festive season, and that you stay safe. And it would be awesome if you craft along with us. If you do, just remember to add the hashtag 2023DD Advent so that we can find what you do. And if you're in the Foxy Crafters Facebook group, add a picture there so we can see it as well. Also, the December Daily Kit, if you haven't already got it, the kit is available in Tracie's Etsy, and that's Love Junk Journals, which is also linked down below. It's an awesome kit. I printed it out, I think it's 56 pages, and I printed out all of them. And what I don't use this year, I'll definitely use in future years. So yeah, once you slip this into a pocket or a belly band, it's going to sit quite nice and flat still. And that is our cover. I love the way it turned out, and a little dangle. And then we can slip a tag in there, which I could have done today, but I think we've done enough work today, and I might make a tag in the future to put in there. You flip that over, flip that over. I was going to add pages, but it's bulky enough, and there's so much writing space on the actual little list cards that we've got in there. But we do have these two extra journaling cards as well. So that one that slips in that pocket, and then that one there. So that was so much fun. So take care of yourselves. Check out what everyone's doing. Heaps of fun. And I will see you again on the 21st. See you later.